So it's Wednesday the 19th of May. I've had a couple of days off after my shocking round on Monday, my second comp back. So played 17 holes then. Same thing, I didn't really know where the ball was going. But on a positive note, I am starting to draw the driver, which is something I really struggle with. And where open qualifying is, Old Links here where I'm just played, you really need that draw, especially when the wind comes up off the ocean, because that wind pushes the ball OB. So if I can get that draw going with the driver, it just makes those holes where the OB on the right hand side, I just feel a little bit more comfortable, rather than when I've got the block in the bag and I haven't got the draw, don't feel comfortable on those holes. So that I'm quite positive about. But I did as well, I put my Delmar putter in, which is very blade, quite hard to use. I put it awful. I always put awful with that, but sometimes I just like to throw that in, so when I go back to my normal putter, which is a 5.5 like Justin Thomas uses, I think it'll just help my putting a bit. My putting's been solid, but it's just not been great. Normally I'd hold a few 15-20 footers. I've not been really doing that. I've been holding the short ones, which is nice. You know, inside 6 feet I've been pretty solid, but I thought just that little switch, go back to the gamer putter as it will, should help a bit. But the long game needs a lot of work. I'm overdrawing it, which I'm expecting to do. I'm trying to get the club face a little more closed on the downswing. So I think I know by getting it closed with my body rotation, I generally don't rotate. So that means I'm starting to hit it left. So I am getting the club face more closed. Now I need to start opening my body up, and that should sort of square it off. So although it's awful, I think it's close. So we'll just have to wait and see about that. So I'll take tomorrow off, and then I'm gonna go down to London on Thursday, go and see Mark Bull, get on the 3D, and hopefully see some progress. So I'll film that in a couple of days. So early morning for me. Set off at 7 AM, drove down to London, which is about 4.5 hours, little stopover for lunch, sorry. So I'm just about to go have a lesson with Mark Bull, get on the 3D. Probably won't film much in the session, but I'll check in afterwards, probably when I've gone to my brother's.
Face on in target line view.
Yeah.
So from face on, Ross, that kind of initial reference we can use is elbow to the hip before the hand. So how you like to move historically in transition, the hand would get there before the elbow.
Yeah.
Which is another way of kind of actually saying, disconnection is often coaches call it. When the hand gets there before the elbow, that's when that shoulder blade then starts to essentially walk around that rib cage. Another one you can use, certainly with an iron club of this length, by the time the hands are opposite the pelvis height, the club head still sits above the shoulder joint.
Yeah.
So then from that target line view for you, again, when the elbow sits under the shoulder joint, when that lead arm is parallel, shaft somewhere through the bicep. How you would like to move, elbow gets behind you, club then's kind of more through the wrist and forearm.
So first time on the golf course since my little session with Mark Bull. It's interesting because I've been doing a lot of work at home, just slow motion, just sort of pitching swings really slow, just to get that feeling of that arm or the elbow reaching my waist almost before my hand. It's a very different feel for me. So first few holes, I've not got any woods in my bag. I've just taken irons out just to really groove that feeling. Fairly promising, to be fair, to say this is the first time and it's only a few days of work. I can't obviously go at it as hard as I want to, but it's promising. So I'm just going to play maybe 6 holes, just nice and easy. Strikes a lot better, a lot cleaner. My putting and chipping's been awful, but I've almost tried the last few days not to do a lot, just to give my brain a little bit of a refresh. I think I was getting a little bit, just too focused and too involved. So yeah, it's promising, and the course is looking fantastic. We're on the end of May, so we've got another 4 weeks before open qualifying. The growing the rough up in the spots where it needed to grow up, just because there's some short par fours, especially when the ground starts browning out and firming up. So they've grown the rough up around the greens in spots, because at the minute, or a few weeks ago, you could just hit it anywhere and you'd be fine. Whereas you've got to play a little bit sensible. You can't just wail away at driver, or you can if you're straight, but you're gonna have to play sensible. So good. Yeah, I'm excited with this move, but it's always the case. You have a lesson, play well, and then maybe not after a few. But I think this is the right path, and I'm not. Even if it doesn't work out for open qualifying, I still need to keep that work in that elbow, just from a technical perspective, because I just get too steep, leave the club face open, and I either stall out with my body, or I flip it to square it up. It's not a great move for speed. It's not a great move for your body, to be honest with you. So call it for today, and then probably do a bit of work tomorrow as well. So positive. So it's the 31st of May. I've just been out and played 18. I'm absolutely dying of hay fever. It's been really nice and warmest day of the year so far. So that was nice to be out in short sleeves. I think that's probably the first time where it's been short sleeves all the way through the round. So that was really nice. Game not too far away, considering I've only done one or two practice sessions on the feelings that I've been working on with Mark Bull. It's promising. There were some really nice shots, some bad ones as well. I just need to fix those couple of bad holes where I'm maybe doubling. That's a couple of them. That's 4 shots. That can be the difference. The rest of them, it's not too far away. It's not perfect by any means, but it's close. It's a lot closer. So I've got 4 weeks until open qualifying. It's a big ask. The scores, especially the way that some guys are playing, it's going to be really big ask to try and get anywhere close, but gotta give it a go. It's in my home course, so promising. So do some really good technical work this week, and then I've got a comp on the 15th to 24th, and then open qualifying. So positive. So that's it for this week.